Hi, I'm Pat Barnard, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, coming to you live from IT Expo in Los Angeles. And joining me today is Vlad Ellis, Director of Speedflow Communications. Hi, Vlad.
Yeah,
how
hi,
are you?
Patrick. All right. Thanks.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I understand that you're exhibiting at the show, and you have a VoIP soft switch. Sorry, I don't know why that didn't come out right. VoIP soft switch product that you're exhibiting,
Yes.
and you've made some tremendous improvements to this product, from what I understand, by building in, for maybe lack of a better term, an increased level of automation within the product itself. Is that right?
Absolutely right. You're
Okay,
absolutely
great.
right.
So tell me what you've done.
We start marketing our product less than half a year, and we got the first feedbacks from the customers. The main feedback was like, is it possible to make as much as possible automation and as much as possible efficiency over the current networks or over the current activities what they have?
Mm-hmm.
So the answer was yes, we'll do it. And we came up with the new release of our soft switch, which is the interim release. The next one will be in February.
Okay.
Also will be on the IT Expo East.
Oh, okay, great.
So we're using your shows just to launch new products.
Uh-huh.
And these products, they're showing like pure example of what can be done automatically and how to utilize the manpower within the companies.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as possible automation, as much as possible sales and communication by people.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't spend your time on the routine. All the routine is done by the system.
Right.
The only thing you do is you communicate, you talk to your customers, you talk to your suppliers, and you have free time for yourself.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that's the bottom line behind the products which we build.
Okay.
So it's not just communication, not just sales, but also like personal life, which is also important.
Right. So tell me how this compares against sort of the traditional paradigm. Deploying soft switches. I mean, what have you done in order to make smooth out the process, make it easier? You told me some people have even been surprised by what you've done in terms of making it that much easier, fewer screens to go through, what have you.
Yes.
So,
Speedflow, we started Speedflow as a telecom provider. So basically, we are the user number one of these solutions ourselves. And we have like 72 people in the office are utilizing that soft switch on a daily basis. So I don't have testers. I don't have we have all this idea. They came from our company, from within. Mm-hmm. With people I'm talking on a daily basis, like friendly relations, and which is important.
Right.
And you get better feedback. You get properly honest feedback. What you need, what you don't need. And these guys, they're talking to developers, and they're setting up new goals. They're setting up new features which we need. And we're combining all this into products. So the difference between us and everybody else in the market is we don't test our products on the customers, because we give them ready solution which is field-proof by ourselves.
right. Okay, great. It's already maybe not battle hardened, but at least it's been tested by you.
Yes,
and it's ready to go. It's ready to deploy, and you don't need to think of yourself as being a guinea pig for trying out some new product.
Absolutely. And we looked at the points where very important for each carrier, for the redundancy of the systems, stability, how the new upgrades happened, do they lose some data, what happened if big number of calls, something, like, for example, when in Ramadan, all the traffic jumps like 10 times.
Right.
Or on the Christmas, all the big holidays, you
Right.
have like 10 times jump of the traffic. So this system handles that.
Uh-huh.
So the system is built to be solid.
Right.
And it's already proven.
Right.
We see from our customer that their figures of growth, they are giving us that feedback, that their figures of growth are above the market. They said, we haven't expected that. We haven't expected that we're not spending time on the routine.
Right.
And they're making sales, they're making communication, and they're succeeding more than competitors.
Right, right. So I take it from what you said before that it's a highly scalable soft switch, obviously.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, and that's obviously become very important because the spikes in traffic can be pretty incredible out there. Have to be able to handle that across the network. Speak to me a little bit more about this new level of automation that you've built into it in respects to what is traditionally known as least cost routing.
On the least cost routing, it's pretty basic. You buy cheap, you sell expensive. So it's pretty basic.
Right.
In our case, and most of the billing and routing engines on the market, they calculate that after the call, because all the traditional soft switches, they don't use the price in the CDRs. CDRs is called detail.
The index.
Yes,
Right.
index, whatever.
Yep.
So they're not using that. we are in our products we're putting price or different aspect of the routing. It can be number one, can be number two, can be number three, but there are levels which are in that.
Right.
So this price is always part of the equation. So you never ever can give up the price issue.
Right.
So that means that least cost routing happens just before the call happens. So it's really proactive thing. It gives you a solution just before the call happens. And that's one level of automation. The other level of automation which we use, the system is built this way that if you need some changes to be done, you don't have to reboot the whole system like 2-3 times a day. So we know some carriers, they have like 4 times a day rate change. In our case, rate change can happen maximum. The longest we've seen is 3 minutes. But that's like we're talking about tens of thousands of simultaneous calls, and only then it's just 3 minutes delay. So you don't spend time on a routine. You know? So that's the bottom line of the Speedflow products.
Right. Less man hours means you're more efficient and
yes,
you're happier.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And who are your customers predominantly?
Predominantly, we're targeting next after startups.
Okay.
They've seen, most of them, they're starting with the open source products where they start with Asterisk, they start with, different types of solution. For example, we have a direct competitor, VoIP switch. They're not redundant, but they're a good product to start with.
Right.
In our case, as soon as you grow up, you need a solution. But at the same time, you have one single point, which which gives you billing and routing and everything. We cover all your needs.
Right.
And we have a CRM system, which is also, backing up in your office. So it's basically one point, and it's one point of responsibility in front of the customer. I'm responsible for everything. It's not like soft switch from vendor A, billing from vendor B, your back office from vendor C, and there always will be some conflicts, and it always will be bouncing left and right, who's right, who's wrong. In our case, I'm responsible from A to Z, I like full responsibility.
Right.
It's pure SLA, which we sign with the customers and make them, do the job, not to look at the infrastructure.
Right.
So that's a different approach.
Okay, great. That sounds like a very unique product, and it sounds like you guys are finding a very sort of unique niche for yourselves in the market out there. So that's great. Thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you, Patrick.
We've been speaking with Vlad Ellis, Director for Speedflow Communications. Thanks very much, Vlad.
Thank you, Patrick.